Okay. So, this is a new channel called... I hate you.
I know.
This is a new channel that we're starting called Redacted Rants.
Mm-hmm.
We are your hosts.
Redacted.
And Redacted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, nice to meet you guys.
I'm gonna bleep that out in post. Or you're gonna bleep that out in post.
Is this still working?
Yeah, it's still working.
Okay.
Okay,
so, should we introduce the channel,
though? I don't know if we need to. Do we need to? Do you want to?
Sure, whatever.
You can do it.
Okay. So on this channel currently, what we're deciding to do is this is okay, on this channel we are
we're gonna talk about movies and TV and pop culture and stuff.
Yeah.
Yay.
Even though I don't have social media.
I do have social media. I'm very social. I don't know what I'm supposed to say right now. What do you want me to say?
You're like antisocial. You have social media, but you're antisocial.
I did go on a blocking spree last night. I just blocked a whole bunch of people who I don't know, I just blocked them.
That's amazing.
You don't have social media.
I don't.
I'm antisocial.
Yeah. And here we are talking about pop culture.
As if we know anything.
Pop culture. Yeah, as if we know anything. So we decided to watch the live adaptation or
adaptation / remake of Snow White.
Of Snow White, yeah, because we hate ourselves.
Apparently.
Yeah.
We're wasting our money.
Yeah. $30 down the drain.
Not my money though, your money.
Yeah, and I also pay for food too.
And popcorn, so.
Yeah, so anyway.
You make good financial choices.
I do. Mm-hmm. On medical leave.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so we're gonna start out with what we liked about it, and then we will go into our dislikes about it.
What I would have done better.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
So let's start out.
This.
Okay.
Okay.
So
do you want
to
start out? What did you like about it?
I liked the CGI.
Okay. It was very clean. I'll give you that.
Yeah. Like even though all of the animals looked fake, it was still.
I think like that was kind of the goal, to have like that kind of stylized feel.
Yeah, like it was like not magical realism, but like.
But it kind of is like
an uncanny,
crazy uncanny.
But it was like uncanny in this, that not in like, well, until we got to the doors. It wasn't in a creepy way, but it was uncanny where like it looked like the deer looked like deer, but obviously like animated.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I personally liked, hold on, I gotta think on this one. I really liked the evil queen, and I liked how they chose to. No, it doesn't. It'll keep running. I just keep doing that because it's moving in my corner of my eye. Okay. But I really liked the evil queen. I liked her costuming, even though it in some scenes with all the jewels and stuff, it felt kind of like tacky and
like something you would buy at Party City.
Yeah, but a lot of the costumes felt like that.
Yeah,
but
Snow White.
Yeah, we're not. We'll get into that later. But no, yeah, I liked her as a character, and I did like because the original Snow White, there's like no plot. The whole point is to be like, hey, look at the animation that we can do, right? So like it's kind of hard to.
Wasn't that like the first like
like
feature, in color animation?
Yes, it was. So like the story, you're not supposed to be focused on the story. You're supposed to be focused on what the animation is. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of hard to like to adapt that into a full like feature film. Mm-hmm. But I did appreciate the way they chose to go about it. They didn't make a random man she just met kiss her. She knew him for like at least 2 days.
Yeah,
that's pretty
48
good.
hours.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. She was still unconscious.
She was dead.
Dead.
She was dead.
Yeah.
And he kissed her. I will say it wasn't like a fully on her lips kiss, which I felt like was better than.
Yeah, like he didn't pucker up.
No, he just kind of like pressed their faces kind of together.
Yeah.
But I feel
it
like
felt
that,
more respectful.
Yeah.
Like, oh, she's dead.
yeah.
Damn.
So, but yeah, so I think that's all I can say about what I liked about it. I'm not gonna...
Well, Rachel Ziegler, I do not know. Don't come for me, guys.
As if anyone's gonna watch this.
But I liked, obviously she's really talented in singing, in the singing department and in the acting department.
Go on. I don't have anything to say.
I did, and we'll get into the songs later, but I did appreciate, like, I loved her singing. Like, it was really good. You could tell that she worked hard on that. And the inflection she put. And it was just, I don't know. It was like, one of the only good parts about it was her singing. The other songs, we'll get into later. But I do appreciate that. Also, I didn't know Gal Gadot, I didn't know she could sing.
I didn't know either.
Like, she was good.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, she actually definitely was. I don't know, I feel like that added to the character, you know?
Yeah.
That added to my liking of the character.
Yeah.
Because she's, like, gorgeous, very good singer, and also magnificent in her costuming, except for the parts that were kind of tacky. But, like, beyond that, very, very good.
Yeah. I feel like the whole cast worked with what they were given.
Mm-hmm.
They worked really well with what they were given.
Yeah.
So, can you think of anything else that's good? Nope.
I got nothing else that I liked.
Okay. Cool.
Time to be a hater. Is it time to be a hater?
Hater time.
Hater time.
Hater time, guys. So,
Oh my god.
moving on to the dislikes. Okay, let's break this up into categories. How about we go with costumes first?
Costumes. Okay.
What were your thoughts?
Actually, I have something to say about, like, the overall vibe that kind of ties into the costumes and stuff.
Yeah.
So I felt as though they were kind of, to me it seemed like they were kind of waffling between being like a super stylized live action thing and like a not that stylized live action thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it like, and I think that reflected in the costumes because like some of the costumes were clearly meant to be super like of the time, I guess, which that's kind of hard to do in a fairy tale. But then like you look at Snow White's costume, she's got these bright colors that don't mesh well with the other characters' color, like not with their color palette, but like everyone else is all super muted and she's not, in a way that doesn't look like it fits, you know?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Hello. I'm sorry, a cat just walked past me. I was not expecting it. Sorry, continue.
I get what you mean. When it's, and I feel like that's the big issue. Obviously, there's more issues than just the costume department within making live action movies based off of like the Disney animations. But one of the big things is that they keep on just like copy and pasting the costumes into live action verse, which does not help because obviously when it's an animation, it looks better with these vibrant colors. Mm-hmm. But in real life, that's not how
it doesn't translate.
It doesn't translate well onto the big screen in live action.
Yeah.
I told you while we watched the movie, I was like, her dress, like, it would have looked better if it was more muted colors. Mm-hmm. Like, it could still be the same color palette, but if it was
like, they could have even still let it be. They could still let it be brighter than the other characters. It just, like, it was too bright compared to the other characters.
Yeah, like, when she was running through the forest multiple times trying to escape the henchmen, it was like she stuck out like a sore thumb. Like she was a highlighter running through the forest.
And like they pulled out of this like wagon that one of the characters had. They pulled out a blue top and a yellow skirt, and I was like, oh my gosh, they're gonna let her change because that like those two pieces were like more muted and they were made. You could see like really tell the fabric it was made out of. And it would have helped her fit in better with other characters, but then she never. I mean, they just used it as, like a thing that she never changed into it. So I was disappointed. I was so happy. I was like, oh, she's gonna change. It's gonna be great. No, disappointed. Yeah, always.
Yeah, because I know main characters, they are put into costumes that stick out
Mm-hmm.
in our statement piece, so you can tell them apart from the rest of the characters in a sense, with
Mm-hmm.
power dynamics and relationships and stuff like that. But only vibrant costumes, I feel, are good in either animation or theater.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because those are the places where, like, you really need that to, you know,
Yeah.
get the point across.
Yeah, but within live action stuff, when you see all the other characters, like for example in this one, when you see the townspeople and all the townspeople, their color palette was very muted, cool colors with like blues and some neutrals like beiges and browns and grays. And then her coming in, trying like undercover in red.
Well, she wasn't undercover. She was trying to draw attention to herself at that moment, I think. Which is why she was in red.
Yeah, but it was like
It just was too bright. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It was just too bright. Like, I know they're trying to make her stand out against the townspeople. However, it's like,
there's more subtle ways to do it that makes it seem more artistic than
yeah.
again copy and pasting.
And I think that goes back to what I was saying about it. Like, they are waffling between being like a super stylized piece and being like just real life, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Also, Jonathan gave me major Peter Pan vibes
Really?
with his costume.
that's fair enough.
He's a white man in
He's a white
green.
man wearing green. He's
Yeah.
basically that's just Peter Pan at that point.
Yeah.
White men shouldn't wear green.
At least he wasn't ginger.
Oh gosh. Oh man.
But
So,
I'm trying to think.
what else do we have to say about
Costumes.
Can we talk about the CGI?
Do we want to move on to CGI?
Yeah, let's talk about the CGI.
Okay, wait, one more thing I want to say about costumes. The ending scene where they're on, spoiler alert, when they're on the bridge.
If they're watching this, they don't care about spoilers.
When they're on the bridge, and the evil queen, Gal Gadot, is walking across, the gems she has on truly look like those, like, 5-cent gems you get at Party City.
Yeah, it was bad.
Like, it did not look like even close to real gems.
I will say, I think
And that kind of surprised me. Because
Yes.
it's, like, it's supposed to be this big movie. You're putting Gal Gadot in plastic gems.
Seriously. I will say, I think that the peak, this is something I liked, but the peak outfit that they put her in was in what's the song that she was singing? I can't even remember what song it was. It was very forgettable songs, clearly. But where she's saying, the first time she's talking about, it's not fair to be the fairest of the fair, whatever. And she's like coming down the stairs and there's like maids and stuff sweeping right next to her. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Where she's got the long like
Yeah.
cape. I think that was her best outfit. Because then like she had the sparkly lips.
Oh,
She
I
had all
love
the,
that.
like, and I loved her like stained glass crown. This is going to things I like. But like, you know, that was perfect.
It was very ethereal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
But
In my opinion.
if we could hop over to the songs real quick,
Okay.
in that vein,
Sorry.
CGI.
No, do the
dwarves.
songs, do the songs.
The dwarves are the elephants in the room here.
We'll get to those. We'll get to this.
But
Okay.
that song that she was singing, oh my gosh, I wish I remembered the name of it. I wish I knew the name of it. But
Look it up.
yeah, please do.
Okay.
That song, when she was looking very ethereal on the staircase with her glittery red lipstick, it gave me Last Midnight from Into the Woods vibes, like Meryl Streep vibes. Not saying that the performance was at Meryl Streep's level, but the song itself, the way it was written, gave me Last Midnight vibes.
Okay, I think it's called All Is Fair.
All is fair. Yeah, it was All is fair.
Okay, since we have this up, we'll just talk about. I think, okay, so Waiting on a Wish is very clearly her, like, I want song.
Yeah.
However, I don't know how, like, effective it is as an I Want song. Because, like, I mean, she's waiting on a wish, but I don't know how... I was having a really hard time. These songs they were very forgettable to me, at least.
Yeah, I feel like they added songs just as, like, hey, we're Disney. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the movie could have been done without songs, and it would have been maybe a little better.
Even if they had, like, maintained some of the songs from just the original and not, like, really added so many, and I think that would have been fine, you know?
Yeah, because if we think about, like, songs in musicals, when a character sings a song, it's because they are feeling this emotion that cannot be portrayed through words, like through talking. It's where a character comes to this, not so much of a breaking point, but yeah, like a breakout point where their emotions cannot be contained anymore, and they have to sing about it. That's what songs are in musicals. None of these songs, well, I'll take that back. Some of the songs, like, what was the one again that the Queen sang?
All Is Fair?
All Is Fair. That one, I will give that credit. That felt like that needed to be there. And it was very a powerful piece, but none of the other songs felt needed. None of the other songs felt like the characters had to portray their emotions through song.
Yeah, no.
It seemed very surface level, like, hey, again, we're Disney jazz hands.
Yeah. I will say
Besides Hi-Ho.
Yeah, that one... That one was just introducing the characters, really. And I don't think, like, in the original, it's not like that. They're just, like, singing a working song. And I think the working song itself would have given you all the information you need about the characters.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and that's why I'm trying to view this in the lens of, like, I have not seen the original Snow White, and that I do not know who this is. Like, we are in the lens of the target audience, which in theory would be children.
Yeah.
That's how I tried to view it as, even though it's kind of difficult too.
Yeah. Here, can I, like, okay, because this is, the Waiting on a Wish is, like, her I Want song, right? And it basically is just her talking about, like, growing up to be, like, her, I mean, just to be, like, a, you know, it's, I just feel like it wasn't super clear about what she's supposed to be, well, it just, I didn't feel like it was super clear about, like, her wants, because she's going on about, like, I want to, well, I guess it is, actually, because she's talking about wanting to be, like, her father's daughter, and, like, be fair and true, and the fact that the kingdom isn't like that anymore.
Yeah.
But that didn't come across when we originally
I feel
were
like
feeling it. Not till I reread the lyrics where I was like, wait, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I understand what you mean. I feel like they just missed the mark on that song, I will be honest. But I feel like this, like, the power structure of the kingdom, I feel like they kind of drew parallels to current, not to get political.
I'm thinking political, guys, but like,
I feel like they kind of drew upon current political structures.
I mean, the whole, like,
it felt
don't
very...
fight, this is what the evil queen wants you to do. It's like, what? Crazy.
That's wild. Haven't heard that before. But yeah.
Yeah.
It did feel like the kingdom felt very claustrophobic in the movie.
It was very small.
Yeah, but yet claustrophobic.
Yeah.
Like, in the sense, like it wasn't like bustling crowds of people.
I feel like they tried to have that come across, because at the beginning scene,
At the beginning,
all the people dancing in the square, and then at the end they had all the people dancing in the square, but it's just like a village, basically.
Yeah. It's not like this grand city, this grand paradise of, like, interconnecting systems. Like, it's just its own separate small kingdom.
Yeah, it felt very, like, isolated.
Yeah.
I don't know, that's just an observation, though.
Good for you.
Are we still talking about the songs? I feel like we've lost the plot.
Okay.
Do you have anything else to say about the songs? You're more of the musical theater nerd than I am. Okay, actually, I do have something to say about that. Now that I thought about it, don't talk, my time. But
Redacted's time.
I think comparing this to like the movie Wish, which is another one of Disney's more recent projects, musical projects especially. The movie Wish was way more pop kind of style of music compared to this. This one felt more like musical theater. I'm not going to say the songs are the most effective or the best, and they're, in my opinion, not that memorable, but they're definitely better than, it's not trying to be like it might be trying to be a little bit of a pop hit, but it's less of a pop hit compared to Wish.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
I've never seen Wish.
I haven't either. I've watched a lot of videos of people talking about the music, and I've listened to a lot of the songs. I just never got around to like actually watching it because I decided I didn't like the animation style. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I could get into that later.
We could next video.
Next video.
But I don't know English.
You do.
Let me think.
Gaslighting. You know English. Sorry. Redacted's trying to think.
What was I gonna say? That's a really good question, guys.
Well, I did ask you, like, what other... You're more of a musical theater nerd, so, like, what other things do you have to say about, like, the songs and stuff?
Oh, yes. I do, but on the same note as you talking about the musical theater feeling and vibes you got from the songs, I also got that from it, and I do feel like at least we can contribute a little bit of that to the fact that a lot of the cast did originate in musical theater.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and I think I could be lying, but I'm pretty sure the songwriters also, I feel like I read somewhere that they also came from a musical theater background. So I do feel like that the vibe, not the songs itself specifically, but the vibe of musical theater did translate very well into the movie itself. And I'm pretty sure we can contribute most of that to everyone who worked on the film, their background in musical theater and their knowledge and contributions to it.
Yeah, because, I mean, that's the difference between this movie and, like, Wish, is that the musical writers on Wish are primarily, like, pop writers, which is why it sounds like it's trying to be a pop hit, right?
Yeah.
And then this is got the musical theater background, so it sounds more like musical theater. It's crazy how that works. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We can move on to CGI now.
Yes, the CGI.
I'll let Redacted go first.
Okay. So, I mean, I know that... I feel like I read somewhere that, like, Peter Dinklage especially was very annoyed that instead of hiring, like, little people to play the dwarves, they just, like, did CGI instead. And they did have a guy who was a little person in the movie, but his character was a human. And, like, I just think that, like, you could still CGI a little person. It just would look more like they're an actual, like, person and not like they were the...
Okay, see, that's what I don't understand is how did that get past, like, every single stage in the editing process?
Seriously. But that's one of those things that, like, makes it seem like they're really trying to make it, like, stylized, but then it just comes across so uncanny. Like, it feels weird that they're at, like, a different... like, I don't even remember what the word is. It's like, okay, I can't remember what the word is, but I'm just going to describe it to you. It's like when you get a doll, like a Barbie, and you try and put it in a dollhouse of a different, I think it's like the ratio, right? Of a different aspect ratio? Something like that. Right, but like you're
Woman in STEM.
Woman in STEM. No, but it's like you try and put Barbie in a dollhouse for dolls of a different size, right? And it just like it looks weird when they're next to each other because they don't look like they should exist in the same universe, and yet they do.
Yeah,
and it's like weird. And I don't know. I feel like, and like I think that you could just CGI a little person to have big ears and big eyes, and like it would be a similar,
It would
if
look
not better.
It would look
experience.
more realistic.
Yeah.
But even then, just having just little people working as the dwarf, like playing the dwarfs without even CGI big ears or big eyes, I feel like that would even work too.
Yeah.
Because it's like the suspension of reality,
Suspension of disbelief.
Sorry.
Okay, so continue.
The suspension of disbelief with the dwarves, it was just like,
It was too much. That was too much. I can set aside animals being like weirdly animated. I can put that aside. Like that's fine in the Snow White universe in this magical forest. The dwarves are a step too far for me.
Yeah.
And then okay, I don't know how to explain. Like this isn't about CGI. This is just about Dopey's character. I liked that he didn't talk. I liked that he was mute. And then they made him talk, and I was like, what message are we sending about people who choose not? Like, I get it with him, it was like he was just afraid to talk, but like this, I feel like this comes across like we should encourage everybody to talk if they can, and it's like, what if he just really didn't want to? What would we do then? Would we just let him not talk? Or would we like really, I don't know. That's another, that's a whole other thing.
I was thinking about that too, honestly, is that, and I know that probably wasn't their main,
it's not their intention or their main
priority
idea
for the character of Dopey, but I feel like it would have been a really good, not even representation, but just like, well, I guess in a way, of just being like, look, this is a character who is mute and doesn't want to talk,
and we're just not gonna make it. The thing is I liked it at first when they were like, look, she's offering him like an alternative way to communicate with whistling.
Yeah.
And I think if they had just left it at that, that would have been great. And like they had him talk later, and it was like it's really fine, really, but like I just liked it was good representation. There are alternative ways to communicate with one another. You know?
That aside from talking, and it also not only helped that representation of Dopey with the whistling, but it also helped convey the fairness and kindness and warmth that Snow White was bringing to the dwarves. And that was her whole...
And that's her whole thing.
Yeah.
That's her whole shtick.
Yeah. And her I Want song, that was her whole thing, is that she wanted to be just like her father to honor him. And I liked that she was like, hey, look, I understand. I see you're valid. You don't want to talk? That's okay. How about we try this other method of communication? And Dopey loved that. And I thought that was great to showcase both characters.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. So I know that, like, Snow White is supposed to be kind, but they just had her... I mean, I guess everyone has a lapse of judgment and they're briefly stupid, but, like, I don't understand why you would... You meet a random old lady, she gives you an apple, and you're like, I guess I'll take a bite right now.
Well, this goes back to the Brothers Grimm, even.
Well, yeah, but, like, I can make excuses for her in the original story, because in the original story, she's 13.
Yeah.
She's a 13-year-old. So, like,
and she seems much older.
Yes, it seems like she's supposed to be much older, which, like, I'm totally behind. It's just, you kind of have to figure out, like, what's a better way to get her to take the apple? That's not making her just seem so stupid.
Which I hate, because it's like...
I mean, no hate to stupid people. However, it just, like...
And, like, Disney princesses are, like, usually, like, they're supposed to, like, empower women.
But that was, you really think about it, the story they're adapting from, like, in the original Disney Snow White, that's not empowering women. She's a 13-year-old girl who dies
but what I'm saying
for being stupid.
What I'm saying is that, like, over the years with all their remakes, they've made the princesses even more, like, badass and, like...
Have you watched the live-action Cinderella?
Which one?
What do you mean? I'm talking about... You're right.
The one with, like, Camila Cabello?
No, God, no. Camila? I'm talking about, It's from 2015. It's this
Is it?
one.
Oh, yes.
This movie is so good. I think that's
love
one of
that.
their like best like Cinderella versions, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's like they're really empowering Cinderella as a character, right? They I think they do a good job of like really focusing on like the time and place where she's supposed to be. So like the costuming is just gorgeous.
I love it.
I feel like also it develops her relationship with the prince and between Cinderella and the prince much more, and it makes it more like engaging that way.
Yeah.
And genuinely the house they're in, it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful movie.
Yeah.
And I feel like
wait.
Sorry, continue.
Sorry. Just going back to the costumes real quick, you reminded me of one of my biggest pet peeves from this movie, the whole entire movie. Every scene, for me at least, personally, was ruined by the necklace that Snow White had, because her neckline is so low, and it is just a square neckline.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that she has a necklace, which would look great in theory, but the necklace is so long that it goes under her dress, under the neckline. So it's just like a little skinny piece of metal, a chain going down. And I'm like,
we can't see the little heart. Like, I think you're right. It would look so much better.
Ruined it for me, because I was like, you have so much chest space that you're not utilizing. Like, you could put a necklace there and it would look beautiful.
Yeah. But I think part of that is because they had that whole scene where, like, Jonathan is wearing the necklace and he's brought to the evil queen and needs to, like, come out of his shirt. But, like, I think you could still shorten the necklace just enough where, like, you can make that scene work, but the necklace is still shown. Because her neckline is very low. Like, it just needs to be a little bit shorter.
Yeah. Or even make the neckline a little higher up, too, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, just something. Because I was like, there's so much space not being utilized with, like, either costuming or with jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
Anyway, sorry, back to your...
No, I don't even know what I was going to say. It's okay.
You ever talk about Cinderella?
Cinderella. It's a great movie. I don't think it's a musical, but I can't remember. Not to hate on musicals, guys, but, like...
Yeah. But...
Also... Sorry, continue. You had something to say, clearly.
I love... And I know it's because, like... It's America and all, but, like, I love how every single Disney princess movie, Snow White included, like, they're just American.
Yeah. I feel like there's many ways they could go, like, way harder with all of it, you know?
Yeah. Not even, like, a British accent.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just found that interesting.
I think that would add to it, too.
Yeah.
You know?
It'd make it seem more distant, far off.
Yeah.
Over the Atlantic.
Across the pond. So mysterious. You know, I don't think Europeans actually exist. That's my conspiracy theory.
I wish they did.
Oh gosh,
you know,
I love Europe. I wish British people were real.
Trigger warning.
Trigger warning, British people. I don't know. Is there anything else we have to say, I guess? Any other things that really stand out?
The plot?
I don't think it was that bad.
I was screwing around in my seat waiting for the movie to end, and every time I thought that they would wrap it up, it kept on going.
I think that is a problem with, like, the pacing of it all.
Yeah.
You know, I think there are certain parts that kind of, like, dragged on a little too long.
Yeah.
And some of the songs, they're singing, and I'm sitting there like, oh my gosh, shut
I
up.
love the song. I love how I'm saying I love all these songs, and I don't even know the names of them, but the one that it was the duet between Jonathan and Snow White.
Where they fall in love with Princess Problems. I liked Princess Problems.
I did not like Princess Problems.
I thought it was fun.
I felt...
That actually was not necessary. They could have taken that out, and it would change nothing.
I felt called out. I felt targeted. Yeah.
No, but I think there were some problems with, like there's just some things that went on a little bit too long, and I don't think there was any place where I was like, you need to spend more time thinking about this. Like, nothing like that.
Yeah. Well, besides the part where he went and kissed a person he's only known for 48 hours, and somehow that's true love.
No, because actually I think that they spent too much time at the beginning, and then they just kind of like breezed past the entire ending. Like it felt kind of
Hop, skip, and a
anticlimactic
jump.
for the ending part with the evil queen, right? Because she like goes and she destroys the mirror, and then it's like over. There's like a singing scene and it's over.
Exactly. No, okay, because I was thinking that she was going to like get pushed off into like the moat below, because like in the animation that's what happens. Like
Yeah,
she gets pushed off like a cliff or something. Am I wrong?
Let me double check that, but yeah, I think it's something dramatic.
It's
like
just
that.
something really. It's like
Right.
raining and there's lightning and stuff. I remember that. And she didn't. She never.
She
turned
falls
back
to her death
into-
shortly
yeah.
after poisoning Snow White. Like we could have. Like, I know everyone wanted, like, you want the confrontation scene and, like, all that, and it's like, okay, but also...
You could have ended it in a very climactic way instead of it being really anticlimactic, and it's almost just her... Like, she just gets, like, sucked into the mirror. She turns into, like, a statue and gets sucked into the mirror, and I kind of hate that.
And but also it's like, we have this whole moment where, like, Snow White is getting everyone's support behind her, and then the queen just storms off enraged...
Oh, yeah,
and
what
doesn't
was that
hurt
about?
anyone, and I'm like, I'm sorry, you literally, like, you had a knife. I mean, you lost the knife, but, like, I feel like there was a better way to do that. I don't know.
Also, giving your stepdaughter that you trapped in the castle to be an aide for after you murdered her father, and she knows all of this, and you give her a knife.
But, oh no, but Snow White is too good and kind. She would never kill anyone. Coward. I would, obviously, but like, you know, like, come on. I mean, that's fair, that's like in character for her, but it's still kind of like, okay. And that moment, I feel like they just kind of stared at each other for like it was just a little too long for
Should
my
we talk
taste.
about the lesbians?
They weren't lesbians. That's your headcanon. That's not canon.
Sorry. My headcanon,
The little girl she gives a flower crown to at the beginning. Kissy, kissy.
in my headcanon, Snow White's bi, that village girl is a lesbian, and Jonathan, fuck it, he's bi.
Yeah.
Sure, why not? Pan? No.
He could be anything. Maybe he's just kind of like unlabeled, you know, vibing
Yeah.
around. He likes who he likes.
Nobody understands.
Nobody understands him.
Nor they till it was far too late. No way! Anyway, that concludes our episode.
So, thank you for listening, if you're here still.
Hey, Bookie.
Okay, I'm gonna we have to turn this off.
No, we gotta say, like, make sure to like and subscribe.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Make sure to smash that like button.
Smash it! Tear it to pieces!
Destroy the subscribe button.
Make sure you have a warranty on your iPhone case before you do that.
Exactly. Because your phone will be dead after this.
I'm assuming you're watching this on your phone while you're going to the restroom or falling asleep in your
I
bed.
hope they're not watching this in the restaurant. Maybe don't do that.
Yeah. Okay, so like and subscribe. Tell us if you want us to talk about stuff.
You can put requests in the comments if you're seeing this. Please do. Mwah.
Mwah.